And then up next we got Flesh in the Furnace from 1972, a Bantam book. Puppet power, it says. That's kind of hilarious. I like what it says. Where is it? I'll read the back because it's so funny. What does it say? Oh, a race of living puppets bound to the puppet master, fearing him, hating him, planning. Dean R. Koontz, one of the fastest rising stars in the science fiction firmament, has written a novel of haunting horror and icy eroticism. Pretty hilarious description. There's a naked puppet girl in here. This book has a very unusual tone. It's probably the first of Koontz's, like, where it's just totally unlike anybody but him. Only him, only he could have written this. It has this strange sense of humor. And it's like the first time I think he allows himself to put sense of humor in his books. I think the year after this one, he wrote Hanging On, which is entirely a humorous, like Catch-22 or MASH type of story. But I'll probably review that some other time. Anyway, getting into it, Catherine Ramsland on page 171 of her biography of Koontz says, one of Dean's best efforts that year, and one of his favorites among his science fiction, was The Flesh in the Furnace, published by Bantam. On a futuristic Earth, a puppet master, Petros, travels with an idiot, as he's called, and a troupe of living puppets that he destroys each night, then remakes in a special machine before each performance. The puppets are not merely alive, they remember and resent each recycling. One, named Itty Bitty Bellina, is the idiot's favorite puppet. She urges him to kill Petros and help her to give the other puppets a permanent form. When she has sufficient collective power, she and her band turn on the idiot and kill him. The puppets in the story represent humans manipulated by an uncaring God. They must resist the status quo and recreate themselves as gods of their own existence. This same theme was to carry through Dean's work in many different forms for several decades. Very unusual book. I highly recommend it. It's very hard to find. I have to get it on eBay again, like $100 something. It has some, I would literally call it far out ideas, as they would have said at the time. Strange stuff happens, and definitely dreamlike. It makes me question whether Koontz really had never tried psychedelic drugs. Very mushroom or acid trippy, I'd say. There's a crazy scene of this girl, Itty Bitty Bellina. She's like 3 inches tall. So she basically pole dances around this one guy's penis. Like this guy pays her puppet master and he wants to get a hand job from this tiny woman. It's very weird stuff. I don't know. But at the same time, the tone was just fascinating. I never read anything else quite like it, unfortunately. So pick that one up if you can. Coming up next, we got Starblood